That's enough of that music. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Potsquatch Growers. Welcome back to a channel that has embraced the meaning of absenteeism. For those of you who came back, thank you. For those of you who tuned in to the one live stream we got on September 1st, and then you've been waiting 20 motherfucking days, I guess, or so, for another thing. Like, oh my God, Potsquatch did a show, then he did a second one, then he deleted it. I didn't delete it, I just made it on public. But then he's gone. He just keeps being gone, okay? And the fact is, my Potsquatch, I've been healing, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've been mentally preparing for our return. I have been attempting to find what it means, you know, to be me. And one of the funny things is today on the, you know, live stream video that was done by Mrs. Potsquatch, or the X, I guess I should say, Mrs. Potsquatch, you know, the Dottie, right? And she did that live stream on the channel, right? You know, it's a beautiful, special, wonderful thing. And it was such a wonderful day. And it still is. I'm not condescending on it. I'm just, you know, performance mode. And it was funny because I was there on a video because someone commented on it today, oddly. And then I was like, I saw this other comment from years ago when it happened. They were like, Dottie Davis, aka they're like, Miss Potsquatch, you make Squatch the Squatch. And it was true back then. Like, I mean, everyone, she and I got together when I was starting this channel. She was this light in my life that helped me be excited and do things. And then things got stressful in the end, you know. But it was oddly poetic when I read that this morning. And I was like, yeah, but like, let's be fair, you know. Like, one, I'm still fucking Potsquatch, mate. I fucking started growing weed in a fucking closet with some King LED King Pluses, some crap, random crap that I could, you know, find or afford, you know. I started teaching people. And the reason the channel existed was because, like, I had the idea and I was nervous about it. I was like, oh, could I start a YouTube channel? I don't know about that. I don't even know how to do that, right? So I called Donnie and I was like, hey, you know, like, it seems like my phone technically makes videos. Like, could I not technically start like a YouTube channel? Like, could I do that? And Donnie was like, just fucking do it. You know? So none of us should be mean or mad at her in terms of that, because if it wasn't for her, I may not have followed through on the idea of creating the channel. And now, after the weird saga of bullshit, all the random crap that happened, and we're going like, oh crap, where the fuck's Potsquatch? What the fuck happened to that prick? Is he fucking dead? I think he might be dead. I don't know. Is he dead? I don't know. I hear he got arrested. I don't know. What happened? Right? Hashtag boom. So, the fact is though, right? The fact is, if it wasn't for that interaction, regardless of what has happened to everyone, we may not exist as a community to this day. So, we're going to get past that. We're going to get back to how we do a normal show. And I'm going to go back and say hi to everybody. One second here. All right, so let's go back to the beginning here. Jansen Dennis, good to see you, my friend. Rock and roll. I Spy Cannabis, good to see you. Van Island Beauty, baby, what's happening? Grow with Matt L, good to see you, baby. All right, Dagnus Genetics, 6:30 a.m. I have awoke for this very reason. Coffee. What? Coffee or seeing the show, Dagnus? I'm just cheesing. Oh my goodness. Family Outcast, good to see you. Happy Dude Grows. I'm watching you too, baby. All right, that's good. Dagnus Genetics, my dog ate my stash, man. Had it on the table and a little motherfucker ate it, man. Well, Dagnus Genetics, yeah, I need to follow it. No, I can do this better than that. Man, I had to follow that fucker around for fucking like a week to get it back, you know? We smoking dog shit, man. I think you're referencing, you know, Up in Smoke. And if that's what you're doing, all right. What's up, Everett Senior Fletcher? Dude, thank you for joining the show. I know you're about to go to sleep, but the fact is I'm trying to show the world that I'm slowly coming back. If anything, let's be fair. Let's be fair. All right. Let's be fair. I mean, the education has been good for a while. You know, certain things you've seen some epic grows and this that. But the magic that made the channel wasn't just the grows. It wasn't just me fucking around with weed. It wasn't just me doing that. I have been struggling with personal depression for the last number of years. I have not, and it wasn't derived from my relationship, by the way. It was derived from a whole bunch of things that were exterior to that. But I was forced out of the world I was in that made content for all of you. And oddly, the only way to survive was to go back to where we started the content. And honest to God, not that I believe in God, but you know, I believe in the Force or the Schwartz before I believe in that. But I mean, it's like we are returning, you know, and it's oddly poetic to come back to where we started the channel. And we're going to relaunch everything. And I'm for the first fucking time feeling good. Ish. I mean, let's be fair. Still a little depressed, still a little sad. I still miss my family, and I don't technically have any of my stuff yet, other than like the few little things I squirreled away in Vancouver, so we have some things. We're going to make a big shout out tonight, right now, to, first of all, okay, Felicia Casper Skimpilimpi. All right, we're going to do a shout out to her and her YouTube. If I could share the link, I would. Don't know, I can't do it on the phone, but they sent us a big party pack, and they also contacted their sponsor person. That's not what you're supposed to do. There we go. And they sent us a bunch of their seeds. So I believe it was Milos here. There we go. Focus. There we go. Milo. So here's their Mac by UK cheese. They sent us that. Beautiful. It seems everything in their catalogue of their personal things, right, is in fact crossed by Mac Father. And if I'm remembering correctly, and if this is the Mac that is the Mac of Dirty Dave just recently won a fucking cannabis cup at the, no, it's called the Karma Cup in Toronto, and using his Mac strain. So in theory, this comes in the father's lineage from Dirty Dave. We've done a show with Dirty Dave on the Pot TV channel there, but we've got these ones, Milo's Mac and Runts #1. Did we show this one? Quite potential. I'm just showing everyone all the things here. So very sweet, very kind, because the fact is I've been cut off from all the genetics that I possess. I'm assuming that they have not been destroyed and still exist in my office, but we were sent a beautiful gift. And this comes from both Felicia Casper Skimpy Limpy and Milo's Genetics. They even sent us a fucking thing of copycat. Now, I'm going to make a joke here, okay, with you guys, okay? You know how I feel about copycat genetics, overpriced pieces of shit that may at one point in time been maybe kind of okay, but you just reverse backwards all your genetics and stuff. And so anyway, I looked that one up on the internet, and I like, damn, I charged $450 on their website for that. So anyway, big shout out to Milo's Genetics. Big shout out to Felicia Casper Skimpy Limpy. Thank you for caring. Thank you for seeing that Uncle Potsquatch is in a weird world. It's like, man, how do I grow for weed for people if I've been cut off from my entire career? Another exciting announcement was we're going to be growing Purple Kush. I mean, what has been told to me to be clones of Purple Kush from another grower. I met them at an event, an industry event recently, and they had a few extra Purple Kush clones. So, first of all, I'm very curious to see, do I find myself going, wow, this is Purple Kush as it grows out? I don't know. We're going to find out, motherfuckers, I tell you. Because the fact is, I know Purple Kush very well, and it's been a long time since I've seen some decent motherfucking Purple Kush. So, we got three clones tomorrow we're picking up at that. So, that'll be fun, right? Because right now, we technically still have that 2x4. We've got one of the Mark One. Well, it's not a Mark One. I call it a Mark One, Mark Two, in that it's like when we first started kind of rebuilding the little Squatch lights and making them sexy. But it's back when at the time all you could get was a Mimo driver that didn't have the built-in adjustable on the 150. So that's those little black caps on those drivers that you pop out and you adjust it that way, right? So it's an old version. It's like the first little Squatch, I think, on the new build that was ever sent to me. And so I've got that here, right? So we're going back, and that's what we got to crank with. We got a 2x4, we got a little Squatch, and we're bringing in 3 purple fucking Kush clones, and we're gonna fucking go to town. We're gonna go back to shoot some fun videos, and it's gonna be simple. It's not gonna be what I'm used to. Lots of lighting power, lots of this or that. But it's like, maybe this is a poetic justice to the universe too. Like, Uncle Potsquatch had too many goddamn toys every time he got to play for all year. So, like, let's make that prick literally lose the love of his life. Let's make him lose all of his genetics, all of his equipment. Let's just fuck that asshole in the ass. Hey, let's see what he does. And so I'm excited about these Purple Kush clones. They're getting picked up tomorrow. We're going to start out the videos on first analyzing, because as we've talked about, I mean, remember on the last, second last run, dealing with the thrips, the euthanization thing. I think that's when Little Green Gene, it was the Grow Boss on that one that got all upset at us, and that's where that came about there. It was an interesting life and battle back then, Lab 2. No, Lab 3. Yeah, Lab 3. Sorry. I've smoked a bunch of weed before I started the show. But it's like, man, going back. So we're going to go into that where we're going to show you. We're going to shoot some videos where we show you analyzing the damn plant. These are what these plants look like. This is what I'm thinking. We are also forcing myself to not have any of my normal nutrient systems, nothing of what I normally do to do this. So I'm going to create this first series of 3 Kush clones, Potsquatch, and very little money. I'll probably come up with a sexier title than that. But that's what we're going to be showing you, because it's literally what I have on me to do. And I think it's actually kind of beautiful, because think about a lot of the smaller YouTubes. Think about how we started in a closet with King LED, King Pluses. Think about a lot of the newer growers out there who have next to nothing. Sadly, because of the way my life is right now, I have next to nothing too. So it's the perfect invitation from the universe to show you what to do. We start right now in terms of equipment with just a shitty, cheap Diodan tent, 2x4. It's like one of the cheapest 2x4s you can get on Amazon. And the oldest Mark II little Squatch grow light from our company and our brand that we've ever seen. And we're going to finally make the What Can You Do with a Little Squatch Series 2. Minus everything else I normally fuck around with. And you know what? I'm single now, so we can literally just totally get in there and share a lot of what we do. I'm excited about this, and I'm genuinely excited. It's taken a long time because I was feeling like shit. I was like, oh, I got a stupid little 2x4. Oh, I've got a stupid little Squatch. Yeah, but no. If you're an artist and a dumbass, all you need is a paintbrush to fuck around. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, let's get back to the show. I'm going to start reading everyone's everything. I mean, I had to have a little diatribe of self-sharing, and I apologize. I think it's probably required after, being so absentee for so long, giving you one show, and then going and switching back to absenteeism. It's not fair to the audience. It's not fair to the family. It's not fair to our community around the world as Potsquatches. Where did our dumbass go? I'm back. I'm sans beard and Boulder now. But I'm ready to rock and fucking roll. And for those of you who know the channel, I actually didn't have a beard at the beginning. But people are probably asking at home too, what happened with the giveaway? It's going to happen. But the seeds that made up a majority of that were being shipped to the house when shit hit the fan. So I'm hoping the ex-Mrs. Potsquatch picked them up and kept them safe. And the other ones were already in my office. So I've just got to wait till legally when I can get my stuff back. And we will do the giveaway. It's all going to happen. Don't worry. And I've already talked to Gazzers. I think I shared this in the last live stream. If those seeds die somehow, well, they don't, they're gone now. Go with that. We will find a way. Okay, we already have a way. Gazzers got you. And Mikey's got you. We all got you. We're going to figure it out. Do the same giveaway with all the winners. I'm not going to announce them, though, till I have something to give you. But it's been tabulated. And we're going to still do super prizes the way we said. It's going to be all fine. The universe just decided, fuck me in the ass a little bit. All right, so we tried to do a Halloween giveaway, but then that shit all fell through because of, the support of the fucking thief. Come to that. And we set this big one up. We announced it for like 8 or 9 months before it fucking happened. Then my personal life fell apart again. But that's all right. It's called human existence, right? One second here. Degrowth Thumb Booth says, hi, at Potsquatch Growers. I brought the booth. Hell yeah, booth. I bring the squatch, the Potsquatch. What you got growing? Right now, nothing, but we're going to be getting some Purple Kush clones tomorrow. So we're going to do the first run with some clones that are coming from a grower. These are like kind of like the older, sicklier ones, and we're going to bring them in. They don't look horrible. I saw some pictures the other day. But we're going to bring those in tomorrow. And we're going to start playing around with that shit, making it sexy. And we're getting back into it with what we got. Reverend Veritas, that sounds like a stressful situation, but when brothers should come together, I'm glad you are in the show. Welcome to the show. Stony Baker MD says, just say Jesus. Jesus. Dang, this genetic like UK Jesus? Stony Baker MD like Dirt Dave done dirt cheap. All right, Dirty Deeds done dirt cheap is the reference we're making on that one, I'm assuming. All right, so 1 second here, everybody. I'm just going to scroll over. If I've missed any of your shit, everybody, just keep Mendo Purple strain. I mean, Mendo Perps is a totally different thing where it's like more of a Mendo breath with the Perps world. Aussie Lone Wolf, the real copycat packs suck too, so I'm not really even too excited about it. I'm just finding it funny. No offense, copycat genetics, but you kind of suck these days. So, I'm just reading. Oh, don't worry, everybody. You'll see what I'm going to do. I'll show you what I do. I started as a poor kid with no money to grow. Like, we can do this. Degrow Thumb Booth says, I hope you're not doing too many doubles. No, I'm not. I'm just working like 2 or 3 jobs. That's okay. And, it's good, though. And, I'm getting it back on page, everybody. Don't worry. We're back. I'm tired, but it's the first time where I felt like I could do a show and be like, guess what? I could do the voices again, and fuck, I could even make jokes. All right, so everybody basically, lost the love of my life. Holy shit. Fucking, the wife's been stupid, but I can make a fucking joke about it, because guess what? And also told it, Daddy Davis, if you watch this, I still care about you. This isn't you or the situation. You tried to crucify me and kill me, bitch, but guess what? Still here, survived. Ha ha. Anyway, but it's like, the fact that I could even bring that up in a public show and not feel weird about it, well, maybe a little weird, but, and be honest about my life. And it's like, I'm excited, everybody. Like, let's get back to business. Let's get down to business. Let's start fucking showing the people what the Potsquatch Growers community once was. Maybe the idiot, that was the one creating a lot of it was absentee for a while. Life happens. I cannot be a proper Potsquatch to you if I'm not doing well, and it's taking me some time to get back to a place where I can be like, motherfucker, let's get it done. So, you know what I'm saying? But bitches, what's up? What's up, bitches? Drink a beer, smoke a doobie, smoke some water. Drink some water, smoke through water bombs, or bubblers. But, welcome back to Potsquatch Growers. I'm not like, fully regenerated, but there's enough regenerated of the Potsquatch that we can be doing this now. What's up, baby? What's up, Shot of Pops? Good to see you, Growers Plus. What's happening, everybody? I'm just making sure I haven't missed too many messages here. Ozzy Lone Wolf, I don't know if I fully follow exactly what you're saying, but all right. I miss you too, Growers Plus, man. You know, the fact is, motherfuckers, guess what, man? I mean, these Purple Kush clones, man, if these are the real McCoy coming in. It was a fellow grower, and I gave a little speech at this industry event. It was a film industry event, by the way. It wasn't weed titties. It was just, making movies. And this guy comes up to me. He's like, I'm a grower too. I was like, oh, cool, man. Like, I'm kind of cut off from most of my genetics and most of my equipment right now. But like, yeah, like I have been a grower, and I have a lot of people that I like to teach and show what I like to fuck around with weed. He's like, well, I got these sweet Purple Kush clones, man. I was like, shit. So I'm getting those picked up tomorrow, and we're gonna play around with those, man. I tell you. What's up, Philip Garcia? Good to see you, baby. Oh, right. So also too, everyone, I know there's only like 26 of us watching right now, but feel free to type if you're able to talk, interact. The shows are much easier when everyone talks. And I also may not have it set to live chat, so I've switched to live chat so I won't miss everything. There we go. All right. For a new brand of nutrients, what you recommend? Well, Eric Grant's Artistry. I mean, even though I'm not going to be growing my next run with Green Planet because all of my nutrients are cut off from me, and I'm now paying for like a house and an apartment and trying to survive as a man who was fucked. So I'm going to be making my own shit, homebrew like I used to, and show people how I do that with crap that's free or leftovers from your food and shit. Or spending a few bucks. But Green Planet Nutrient Systems. I'm a big fan of the 3-part system. Fuck the dual fuel. It's just stupid. Go 3-part system and then build out of there with their secondaries. Green Planet, okay, is the way to go. That's what I'm thinking, in my humble 2 cents. I was a big G&H man back in the day until they got bought out by the devil. G&H, a little heavy, a little salty, but if you know how to use it, it was great. The 3-part was a great place to build out of. But when you can't support the company you normally buy shit from, you gotta find a change. And the change I ended up finding and going with was Green Planet, man. Hell yeah, degrowth some boo. Well, Van Island Beauty, there is no straight recipe unless I'm doing a super soil, and even that I fuck around with. Like pretty much everything I do every time, even if I'm doing a tea, doing a soil, doing a this, I don't do everything set in stone ever. I like to fuck around every time I change it, because like I said, the true grower, okay, is the forever student, right? So if we do not experiment as we grow, if we don't change, even if we're doing this stuff the same basic way sometimes, you gotta change it up, man. You gotta change it up. Because if you don't change it up, you ain't learning shit. Then you become a Xerox machine, and then we just making carbon copies of the same limited ideas. Because you know what? Some growers will say to you, every grow should be better than your last grow, and that's called learning. I said, no, that's like the first 4 grows, maybe. Maybe we'll be generous. I'll give you up to 8. You should improve something definitely each time. But once you hit a certain level of growing, and enough grows in your belt, enough grows in terms of at least the styles and growth patterns that you want to do in terms of like, I don't know, are you an aquaponics grower? Are you a DWC guy? You like your cocoa? You like your super soil? Do you like to just go dirt and play with salt nutrients and then other organic add-ons like Uncle Potsquatch? What are you into? I don't know, right? But once you decide the things that you're wanting to play within them and change things and just always switch it around. Sometimes it'll work out better, sometimes it'll work out maybe not as great, but then you learn more from that than you learn from the fucking successes. And that's where anyone's going to be like, this declarative statement of ultimate truth. Every time you grow marijuana, it should be better. It's like, no, man. Like, dude, I did that for years, and that was a true statement. But it's like, you start to fuck around with shit, because if you don't play around, if you don't keep it fresh, you get bored. If you don't keep it fresh, you don't know it's crack lagging. Dude, dankness genetics like cocoa/perlite. I'm like, hey man, if that's what makes you happy. I've watched people literally just go straight perlite. And this kind of this weird drip irrigation style with like a secondary, like aeroponic almost set up on a secondary basket. Like, I've seen some weird shit over the years that people have fucked around with. And so that's what I'm going to reference to. Because guess what? Let's get back to talking about actually growing weed. Let's get back to where it gets fucking weird. Let's get back to what makes you happy, baby. Let's get back to being just like, hey man, we some motherfuckers like growing weed titties, man. What the fuck is weed titty growing? Well, we're going to start there. We're going to answer all that. We'll talk about these different things. We'll do some experiments on the channel too. And we're going to show you the fucking shit. Because, like, there was a magic I once had when we did this. There was a passion I had, an excitement that I had. And I lost it. Not fully, obviously. But it changed. There was a sheer innocence and joy of the stupidity we used to do on this channel. And I'm a fucking mission to get it back, baby. Let's play around. Let's bring back all that shit. Let's have some fun. And we're going to start with 3 little fucking Purple Kush clones. And basically the Mark 1, Mark 2, as we called it earlier in the fucking show, of the little Squatch lighting system, a 2x4. Basically the cheapest fucking 2x4 tent you can get on Amazon. We ain't got no fucking fans. We got no pots. We got no soil. We're on a limited budget. We will share every money we spend on all this shit. Let's see what fucking Uncle Potsquatch can do with fuck all. Let's have some fucking times, my friend. Let's grow some marijuana. We've got the most potent in variables. It's the light. The light, #1 source. And these Purple Kush clones may prove to be shit. I don't know this grower. I met them randomly the other day. That's why we're going to be doing an intensive inspect your plants for bugs and bullshit. Because we got fucking clones for someone we trusted that was our genetic that we gifted to them, and they came with aphids and thrips. But that's okay. It's a learning experience. We don't have a whole lab we got to protect right now, baby. So it's like, motherfuckers, we can bring this shit in if it happen. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be good, baby. It's going to be good. And we're going to see what fucking the Mark 1, Mark 2 fucking little Squatch light can fucking do, man. You know what I'm saying? Who's ready to have some fucking fun and grow some, hopefully, actual Purple Kush? The clones could be bullshit. They could not work. They could be something that we don't like. Boy, they could be the true Purple Kush God's vagina of the universe. It happens sometimes, especially in this part of the world. Vancouver. The underground growers here. Some of us older generations and some of the younger generations that have known the older generations are holding on to still cornucopias of truth in terms of genetic phenotype, yes. So welcome to round 1 and lab 1. Again. Where we started the show. And we're going to see if this Purple Kush is real. You know what I'm saying? I'm just reading here for a second, everybody. Hell yeah, Black Toe Gaming. It's all about never giving up, never surrender. Sorry, everybody, I'm just reading. Black Toe Gaming, you're not technically wrong. But if you watch your soil sources, okay, this is going to be an offensive statement to some of you and people who watch this later. I've done everything over the years. 22-ish, 22 and a bit years now I've been doing this. And since like when I first started trying to grow pot as a kid and self-teaching myself and fucking around, going around and learning and adapting and learning and going and then becoming pretty good at what I did and developing a reputation locally where I live and I always come full circle back around to dirt, man. I love growing in dirt. Dirt is the way marijuana truly seems to be happiest. And so for me, like, if I wanted to crank out weight or do generic other variables that aren't important to me as a grower, yeah, I could do other things. But I still crank weight on dirt. Is a slightly longer time window, yeah. But like, if we're trying to grow the dankest motherfucker weed tastes, we're talking about that shit that's dank, tastes good, gets you done. You know what I'm saying? You growing dirt. You growing fucking dirt. That's how you fucking do it, man. Sorry, everybody, I'm reading. All right, we cut up. But yeah, so all right, so let's open up the floor there to a thing. I mean, there's only a few of you in the show, and that's totally fine. It was completely unplanned. I decided to do it. But for those of you watching, I'm going to give you permission to. I've been so absentee off and on for a while now, so if there's been any questions you've wanted to ask or shit, it could be about weed or my personal life even. I'll answer them the best I can publicly. What are you growing in, Byron Hayes? What's your approach? Reckless Ron, hello to Thailand. And the fact is, we're bringing it all back. Shows happening at random times that are inclusive for all people around the world. So welcome, Ron, from Thailand. I'm glad they don't block me in Thailand. Oh, no, everybody. I mean, ask them questions. Let's have some fun shows. I mean, I give everyone the floor to, like, actually ask personal questions about the bullshit. Because, like, I'm assuming most of you at home are like, the fuck's going on, you fucking prick? So I will answer as much as I can legally in terms of things. Jason Anderson, I love you and your wife. And that sounded dirtier, but maybe it's because I'm stoned and I've been drinking. I didn't mean that in a dirty way, but I love you guys too. You guys are wonderful. But feel free to ask them questions, motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't want to, that's cool too. We could just talk about weed. But ask questions about weed then, or my opinions on something. That'd be fun too. Reckless Ron says, what is the best strain for baking for getting the giggles? Well, I'm not going to give you a generalized strain on this one because every strain hits differently on different people. But if you want the giggle puss, especially, so the giggle puss though, is what I'm going to call it. The giggle puss of high is something that is more associated when we're newer to cannabis in general. But if we're talking about making giggle puss cakes for people who are newer to weed, I would go with a late pick sativa of any sort that's a true sat that's had at least a 11 or 12 week run because genetically it's proving its sattiness by doing so. Then I would do a proper cure on that, then I would bake that out. I'd do a hard decarb on that. Not hard in terms of temp because we're going to degrade cannabinoids, but a long-term bake. And then I'm going to make my canna butter out of that because that THC conversion to CBN on that long decarb as well is going to be happening on that extended period of time. And it's going to be a counterbalance to make people feel comfortable in terms of the cannabinoid spectrum on that. And so, yeah. So is there one strain that is a giggle puss? No. Are there strains that are maybe a giggle puss? Maybe. I actually personally don't like sativas, but that'd be my go on it. You want to make a giggle puss cake? Because I don't think you get giggly really late into your consumption career from any specific strain. I think it's environment and people around you or exterior stimuli around you. But for the classical, like when we were kids, they were like getting high that first time, like, oh my god, bro, like everything's fucking funny, man. Like, I would go with the sat, later pick, long decarb, make an edible. Good to go. Happy Dude Grows. What's my opinion on the best Kush? I love Kush too much to say there's any necessarily one best Kush. I think most things that are new age and called Kush aren't allowed to be in the Kush family. True Kushiness is next to godliness. Um, Talking about Kushes, and I've talked about this straight so many times, drunk over the years on the show, but what I used to call the Chush back in the day. I used to get this Kush from my boy Langley, you know, and we got it from these Chinese guys, and they didn't really speak much English, but they had this weird, spicy, exotic version of Kush, and like I've seen maybe 6 or 7 phenos over the years that they released from it, and it was all similar, but it was all definitely within the same family, but we called it the Chush, baby, because they were Chinese. They didn't really speak much, but we all understand money, and it was just so exotic. And I hate using that word with cannabis usually, but this one it was just different, but it was so fucking cushy. It was one of the stinkiest weeds you ever bloody fucking smell in your whole goddamn life, and it was wonderful. It was absolutely fucking wonderful, and so I wouldn't say that was the best Kush, but it is the Kush of memory that when I'm dead and dying on my old man bed, thinking back on my favorite Kushes, or if I wanted to smoke a doob again, I'd smoke that first Chush, the first few Chushes I met before they got all weird on it. Those Chushes, man, were wonderful. How am I doing decarb? Well, I would normally just decarb an oven on flour. I have videos on it. John Boy, like, yo, what's with the hair? Did the cancer come back? No, one, the woman I love more than anything left me, so I shaved the beard off because I got to be sexy to make it in the big city and get my acting career going again. Two, I have been severely bald for a long time, so I just shaved my head and look sexy now. It's all about appearances and aesthetics, man. Trying to survive and make enough money to pay for both the house and here. But good question, though. I love an honest question. One second here. I'm just reading everybody. Byron Hayes, send me pictures to potsquatch420 at gmail.com. We'll be able to do that, man. Sounds good, D-Growth, Thumb Booth. Good to see you, my friend. Oh, yeah, no, the beard. No, I just want to look sexy, man. Single now. I'm, acting in the city. I'm also bartending. The new look, right? Like, that giant beard, they wouldn't have let me served anywhere, but I'm, like, serving all these places now. They're like, oh, my God, the guy's a god. I'm like, hello, welcome. Hey, guys. Hey, ooh, ooh. So, yeah, I shaved the beard off because, well, it was Mac's idea originally. Because he thought it would give me a fresh new feel on things. And in the end, he was right. And, you know, um, I'm still using the beard oil, but it's more so on my head when I shave it every day. And it's very good for shaving your head, by the way. So you like shave your head and shit, like slap some squat stank on it. But no, it was a big part for me to feel better about myself, and yes, a lot of that has come through the attention of the opposite sex. Uh, but yeah, I wanted to feel pretty, and I'll admit that. Favorite legal weed brand? None, Wilson Cruz. Currently, anything that is fully legal in Canada that I've ever tried is garbage, and there is not a single part of the legal system that I've tried that I'm a fan of. That's not me. I've tried like one or two, three, four legal things because I normally refuse to smoke legal weed. I mean, my weed's legal. I'm a medical grower, but it's like I don't know. I refuse to engage in legal weed in Canada, so it's not that I'm against trying it, but the first time I tried it, like, felt like my brain was bleeding for like 2.5 weeks. So, simply put, I don't have one currently. Not saying they don't exist. I've never tried the low temps V2 press, but Dankness Genetics, when talking about buying a rosin press, don't buy pre-made rosin press. Buy plates and a controller from a reputable supplier, and then just take an H-frame 10-ton bearing press, and that is the best way to do it. I built mine at the time for under $1,000. I hope I get it back. On the second comment, Dankness Genetics, I'm not sure what you're referencing. John Boy, I finally got to have my surgery. It's an arterial cervical discectomy with fusion C76. Okay, so I understand parts of that. Fusion of C7 and C6. So is that actually fusing? Is that vertebrae within your column there? I believe so. I don't fully understand. Interior, so left, inside, cervical. I just think of a woman's cervix, sadly, and discectomy. I need further definition, John Boy. What's up, gases? What's up, baby? Yeah, because like that's what because it's the C's, right? Like up in here. But so what did they do? I only followed part of it. Well, Dankness Genetics, though, bro, you got to remember there is a very aggressive gray zone market that exists. And the gray zone market lives, in my humble 2 cents, in two basic ways in Canada. One, legal weed currently still isn't the way it is, where anyone should be buying it. To the government and legal weed companies, I will say legal weed companies, either you're doing your job really bad because I'm pretty sure a lot of the controls that were required for us to destroy the product originally aren't required anymore, so you could do it right, but you don't, you're greedy. To the government, if you want to actually have a inclusive market, and by inclusive it means where you make money rather than getting fucked and losing money, include us. That's a big thing. Craft cannabis is what made the true weed world, at least in the West Coast Canada, and a lot of parts of Canada. I can't speak to other parts of the world because it's pretty much like, it doesn't matter how shitty your weed is, you can still sell it, I guess. But here, and in many parts of Canada, you had to produce something that was really good. And so, like, for me, I've been living in the mountains as the Potsquatch for years. I'm back in the city now. I'm seeing all kinds of weed that people here are smoking. And I'm like, bro, like, all this shit smells and tastes like ass. And not a good ass. In the words of, I hope of God, the comedian, her name is Amy Wong. If as an adult you don't eat no ass, you're a fucking idiot. And a child. Something like that. I love her. Watch her comedy specials, they're great. But anyway, it's just shitty. But right now, I'm going to get back to my initial topic of the gray zone has kind of two parts of the world, right? Two parts of the world. So there is the gray zone that's still commercialized like the new age world, and they're less worried about actual product. They have much larger margins. They're running online Facebook campaigns, Instagram campaigns, or illegal websites hosted out of foreign countries. And that's where I'd say a lot of the online ordering is happening for Canadians. And then a lot of Canadians go, well, this is the gray market. No, it's not actually. The true gray market aren't these basically flippers. And flipping's okay in terms of the industry, in terms of commodity distribution. But there are still these, they're quite rare now. Most of them have died out because of the drop in prices and everything like that. And I mean, it's just, most people are gone out of the game. But there's a few of them out there that still exist that are both locally and shipping through word of mouth and this quiet subsect to the world. And so Canada, before legalization, BC especially, had a reputation around the world of being a true cannabis destination, if not the world leader. The growers that did what made the infamy are still there. But they exist in this quiet, slowly dying out part of the gray market that's existing. And I would actually say like the middle ground, which is the more prevalent gray market, which is, all these people doing these online things and all of these things, right, are slowly crushing the will to live and killing out the true leaders. And this is a theory that I've had for a long time in terms of as I've watched the industry develop. But for me, the truth is coming back to my home city, coming back to the home city where I became the man I am, where I became the knowledge that I am, to smell and see the weed that is now everywhere. That's when I knew my theory on that was true. Weed is shite now, unless you know where to go. On that note, we could do some samples of some new things I brought in today. That'd be fun. Maybe we should do that. We'll pretend we're Remo. John Boy, the text did come through, but I can't check it during a show because I'm on my cell phone. Sorry, everybody. I'm just reading everyone's things. So here, let's go back and read people's comments. Okay, so I'm just finding where I should start reading from. We'll go with Family Outcast. Okay, so Family Outcast, like I'm blunt blazing a GG4. Byron Hayes, like I gave my name in my old blurple light. Byron Hayes, there'll be an initial shock potentially, but not a big deal. Cannabis in general is one of the most adaptive plant genomes out there. Okay, so John Boy, that's insane, bro. And I will text you back, because that's crazy, man. Respect, though, that you got through that in terms of your surgery. Dispo weed is subpar in my experience. I paid for Primo Craft Bud all day. Fuck yeah. Like, if I wasn't a grower, oh, fuck, let's be fair. I didn't grow the weed I picked up today. I went and picked it up for some of my students. Sorry, everybody. I'm just reading. No worries, Rob. Murder Mile. Tell your friends. Potsquatch is back. Guess who's back? Potsquatch back. Sorry, everybody. I'm just reading here. Catching up, man. All right, we're caught up. But yeah, so in terms of like what I was talking about, though, too, like, I mean, we're almost 3 years, I guess, now into legalization in Canada, and like, yes, it is more socially acceptable to smoke marijuana around, but I'll be fair, the social acceptance that we had before was pretty much the same as it was now. It's almost nicer than it was before legalization. I'm not saying I'm against legalization. I'm pro legalization if it's done right. But what has been done is now you've watched the government and large corporations come in and create an industry where they're like, well, you could technically do it. Oh, yeah, I could technically do it. All of my kind could technically go do it. but we don't possess the money to meet the requirements in terms of the red tape and all this other crap to actually do it. And it's like, we're farmers, dude. Fuck off. We grow a plant. We do it better than you do. You're growing weed that hurts people. We've been spending the last, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, depending on who you're talking to, growing weed that heals people. But we can't afford your weird corporate red tape, government fucking red tape bullshit. So, a lot of us have slowly been fizzling out. Some have conformed into working for the larger legal companies. But then with at least the initial government regulations, and like super farms are the issue though. That's my main thing. It's like, and I'm a guy who drinks fucking Budweiser, okay? I'm pulling a Budweiser out of the fridge. But you can make a can of Budweiser in a giant batch and it's going to taste all right. Shit's basically water. It's not meant to be a great nuanced beer. But cannabis is vastly more beautiful than any form of alcohol, unless we're talking like some nice whiskeys or some wines maybe, or some scotches, right? But technically, yes, scotch is part of the whiskey family. But, and gin too. But, I mean, fuck it. I'll drink a Budweiser. But if I'm going to smoke marijuana, if I'm going to smoke cannabis, I want something that was truly beautiful. I want something that with a hands-on, true approach. I want some craft, proper shit. I want some shit that I know when I open that bag of weed, I smell it, I bust it, I smoke it, that the heart and soul of the human behind it went into it. And that's weed to me. And that's been the market, dude. How do you think we fucking made money back in the day? You know what I'm saying? Before all this bullshit, you had to be dank. Ain't nothing wrong with that, reckless wrong. It's a step in the right direction, baby. Well, Texas Squatch, he's been busy. Plus, I think it'll take us some time, to be honest, everyone, to get people back into the show. The shows used to go really big, but I've been so absentee for a long time. Uncle Potsquatch is finally at a place where I'm starting to, come back. I mean, I did the show on the 1st because I had to. And I did the show on August 10th. And I'm back, though. Slowly. I'm not quite there, but, we're getting close tomorrow, so you're going to get video uploads coming real soon. So, we're going to go back to grassroots. That's literally all I can do right now, but we're going to get it going. Thank you, Jimmy Jones. It's good to see you too, baby. No, exactly. But Byron Hayes, the reason for this though is the government, the way Healthcare Canada has approached the writing on all legalization is they didn't talk to anybody. They didn't utilize real science. They used science that would go to a red pepper. It's science that would go to a box of cereal. And if they took the time to realize that properly grown and cured cannabis, and obviously you're going to have a proper regulatory system of actual shit before you go submit that. I've always been pro legalization of you want to test my crops, cool, but the government got to pay for that shit. Right? I shouldn't have to pay to have my government test my crop for right to sale. Because at the end of the day, I don't think it's really required if you're truly gifted at what you do. I've smoked government weed and there's been mold and shit. And it makes me feel sick. But I smoke weed from a local small producer that loves their craft. Because it's not just science growing marijuana. It's passion. It's art. It's artisanship. You know, it goes so much deeper than that. And when someone truly loves what they do, because any true artisan would not release something into the market if they deemed it not okay. What's up, Mr. Spackly Vinny? Splacky Vinny. There we go. Well, I got a few Thai things in my genetic kit there, as long as they haven't been destroyed, my friend. But when we get the genetics back, we'll start trying to develop that from some of that for you, right? But you know, like it's truly about artisanship and care. And like so, like some of the companies I used to consult years ago when they were trying to develop their big grows, and no one listened to me, and they all fucking had bug and mold issues and went under. But I said, yo, you can do a giant grow, but you got to do it small, controlled, micro units throughout your entire facility. And then, yes, is it going to require slightly greater person power? Not actually, because if you look at your large fields that have issues and you only have a couple of people tending to them, therein lies your issue. How did the quote unquote gray zone or black market do it where they always beat you? Well, they still beat you, even though you're slowly choking our will to live. It's because all of us never grew a room that was too big. Yeah, even some rooms were maybe like a few hundred lamps, but you got a team of 12 going in there and dedicated, passionate individuals doing it. That's how you fucking run a grow. But on large farm shit where you're not fucking having the same passion and care, like in a grower's house or grow that is a craft grower, they're checking everything that comes in. They're paying attention to it. Like this is their life. This is what they do. And that's what keeps the grow safe. But you do these large corporate things, and it's like, dude, like, you could do a large scale version of what won the West. But nobody listened. And they all went under, so fuck them. All right, so, okay, this is something that I'm going to have fun with. Reckless Ron has provided a statement here. Reckless Ron goes, this is kind of funny. Dr. Green's cannabis dispensary. He's actually prescribing and selling different cannabis strains based on your unique physical or mental issues. Well, Reckless Ron, I'm going to tell you, Reckless Ron, that Dr. Green's cannabis dispensary is being a reckless piece of dipshit. First of all, there is no uniformed anything in terms of cannabis out there that prescribes to any of that. I'm going to tell you one basic generic statement because that's the only way you can say it. Cannabis and many cannabis strains have the potential to treat a plethora of things. All the things that little Dr. Green motherfucking dumbass is telling people that he can fix with this shit. But there is no generic thing. There is no like, this one's known to do this. One, it's all contention. It's never been studied. We have had things as cannabis growers. All we would ever say is like, this might do that. But I've never done that as a medical grower and a medical consultant for people. I've always been like, look, there's a bajillion different weeds out there. I'm going to start, step one maybe is like, this may have been known to more than one person to do something. If it does it for you, great. If it doesn't, we're on a long journey. The first thing I tell anyone when I consult them about medical cannabis as a medical cannabis grower, as a medical cannabis knowledge and professional and cancer survivor and medical cannabis patient will be that, hell, like not only will it take time to maybe find a strain that does something actually for you, it also may change after years. Like our biochemistry changes as we age, depending on diet, depending on stress, depending on life. So there is no one-way map written out to the cannabinoid endocrine system of the human body. The cannabinoid endocrine system is both a mystery and a beautiful super highway for us to actually affect our health to be positive. That is why our CBD tincture that we market is broad-based CBD or hemp distillate, but it's not just CBD, CBDA, CBV, CBC, CBN, CBG, CBC. It's all there. Because you never know which one tool in the kit will fit the job. Every person's different. And you can quote known generalities for people in terms of strain utilization, but that is at best what you can do. And anyone who makes any claim further than that is a fucking idiot, is a fucking snake oil salesman, or just an ignorant fuck who needs to learn and maybe prescribe a couple of my shows. Hell, book a fucking one-on-one consultation, and then maybe your business will treat people right and stop fucking spitting in the fucking face of people having hope of helping themselves. Because through cannabis, we can help people a lot. We can do a lot of things with it. But you can't have these generalized, retarded statements of like, oh yeah, we'll try this green crack. It'll totally be this upper ethereal thing. Of course, it's exactly the one thing that was never actually a unified, accepted thing, but it was like this thing, and it's like, you could take this one, and it's like, my friend told me it was green crack, so I know, because I'm Dr. Green's dispensary, and this is going to do exactly this every time. Every human being on the face of the fucking planet. Grow a fucking neuron. That's all I gotta say to that. Ooh, Spunky Potsquatch is coming back. But in actuality, like I love that people are trying to help people, but I'm always going to be critical of anyone making these types of generic statements. I'm going to be critical of any place that's charging too much. Because also, too, if you're marketing it to people in terms of helping people, one, give them real information that's real. And two, I hope to God his prices aren't too high, or else he might just be a dipshit. Sorry, everybody. I'm just reading. I'm just reading here. Sorry, everybody. Catching up now. Yes, in terms of acupuncture, it's a wonderful, wonderful thing for some. But again, doesn't work for everybody. Also, too, I would say in terms of acupuncture, in terms of the actual generalized thought behind it, in terms of the science that we've actually tested and monitored while we've done it, it's actually interesting in terms of shifting the electromagnetic fields of the body and the pathways of how it all functions. There's actually quite some legitimate shit to it. But again, no acupuncturist is going to tell you this is how you do it for every person. And that's the difference between a good acupuncturist and a bad acupuncturist. They're shifting. Everyone's energy fields are different. If we were all the same fuckers, world peace would already exist, because we'd all be the same retards saying the same fucking shit and fucking for the same reason. And that's called reality. The sooner you accept it, the better you'll start to learn. But, you know, so simply put though, let's go back. We're going to go full circle back to the marijuana for a second here. As long as Uncle Michael goes picks these fucking clones up for me. Michael, if you're watching, go pick up the fucking clones. I'll send you the address tomorrow. We got 3 beautiful purple Kush baby girls coming for 2x4. And we're going to do an in-depth, intensive set video series of looking at that shit. What does Potsquatch do? Well, let's find out. But it's gonna be fun, and I hope these genetics prove to be what I've been told they are. Even if they're like 50% what I remember of the true purple cushions that I've grown over the years. You're all in for a good ride. A very good ride. Eric Grant's Artistry. Once I get my stock supply out of the house of the CBD, I'd like to send you a bottle to try. Because even with degenerative bone disease, broad spectrum CBD composites like ours in our tincture have been shown to not only slow bone degradation, also increase and help the healing of things. It's not going to fix things, but it's going to slow the bitch down and might even let the few parts of your back that are degenerating try to fight back. And I'd love to send you some to see if it helps. Marky, it's 11:35 p.m. here, so I'm not sure where you come from, Marky, unless it's Mark Lavender, because you're in the UK. Then it'd be like 8 hours ahead, I guess. But yeah, Reckless Ron, then Reckless Ron, and all of you out there, I'm back. Let us help the people. So these hundreds of dispensaries around the world opening right now, taking advantage of people's ignorance. We are on a mission to educate people and empower people. So let's spread the truth. I'm back. I'm sorry I've been gone. Let's kill year 6 hard, my friends. Hashtag boom! Let's get her done. Oh no, Eric, dude, here I'll show you a bottle of it because I got a few of them. Most of my supplies at the house, but like a smart squirreling away Potsquatch, I stash a few things. Eric Grant's Artistry. If you have degenerative bone back disease, 1, not a doctor. 2, this is technically under legal representation, not developed to treat anything, except I developed something that I actually think helps almost everything. It's not snake oil. I'd like to give you one and tell me if it helps. Because most of the crap out there that is this shit is bullshit. Doesn't work. Snake oil, filled crap, that'll make you sick. Or just unhealthy. I made something that I care about and believe in. Oh, it's backwards. Wait, if I shoot it forwards though, I think that's how phone camera shit works. Is it there? Ha! There we go. There we go. Front camera doesn't reverse it. They should fix that in the selfie cams. I'd like to send you a bottle of this, mate. Send me an email, Potsquatch420. I want to see if it helps your degenerative back disc disease. My mother has the same condition, and she takes this shit like crazy. She's actually been doing better, so I'd actually like to send you one. That's at Eric Grant's Artistry, by the way. Sorry, but I'm reading now. Sounds good, Eric Grant's Artistry. The email would be potsquatch420@gmail.com. That is potsquatch420@gmail.com. What's up, Chris Baton? What's up, my brother? How you doing? Good to see you, baby. Just doing a little live stream there. Fulfilling the need of is Potsquatch dead? No. I'm just buzzing like a new little butterfly. I've missed all of you very much. Marky, question, Josh, ever flip to flower 30 days from seed? The last one we did seed to weed and we flipped it 3.5 weeks. 3 weeks would have been 21 days. 3.5 weeks would have been 26-ish days. So yes, my last grow actually, go watch it. You can also watch the same grow in 4 minutes and 20 seconds. In a video I released called Seed to Weed in 4 minutes and 20 seconds. Some of the shit is a little exact, so I forgot to shoot it, so I lifted things and sped it up from the later videos, so it might give you a stroke. So be careful. Or a seizure. But, yeah, it exists. Good night, John Boy, my friend. We will talk soon. But yeah, Marky, go check out what Uncle Potsquatch did on his last run before his life imploded and I got betrayed by the woman I loved more than anything in my life, and sadly still love more than anything in my life. Check it out. It's a thing. I'll go check it out, Marky. It literally shows you some weird, crazy shit. Exactly answering that. Dude, nice Gazzers. I can't wait to play with some of these new genetics. Oh, excuse me. Gazzers, if I sent you my new address on the things? Dude, Jansen Dennis, exactly, dude. And you don't need much. Decent light, decent tent, decent that. Make some proper hash. Make some proper medicine for people. You can do a lot of good, my brother. You can help a lot of people. That's a big part of what has kept my heart going in all of this. Even when I wanted to end it all. That's true, though, Jansen. There's nothing wrong with helping people. And you know what? You two may get mad at this, but even if you live in an illegal part of the world, I'm going to tell you right now, cannabis is a beautiful thing. It is not a harmful thing if you do it properly. If you follow the ways of a Potsquatch and live your life that way in terms of what you do, you're not doing something that should ever be illegal. And you can help so many people. And don't ever let anyone look down on you for that. They'll look down at you. You don't control their actions, but don't let it weigh heavy on your heart. Be you. Love your fellow human. And if you got something that'll help someone, help them. Spent my whole goddamn life and career doing that. Yeah, it makes some money too. Don't get me wrong. But the greatest joy is helping my fellow fucking idiot. I call every human on this planet an idiot because we're all a special, still ape-like species that are trying to figure out how to get along. But we're beautiful, beautiful, intelligent idiots with great potential. And the sheer care of when you grow medicine and share it with people and try to help people is one of the truest sentiments of what we could become as a people. That's just reality. Well, I'm humbled by your words, Jansen. Well, Blue Sunset Sherbert, so you're running basically sherbet by, I'm assuming, either a blueberry indica or a blue cheese, which is a cross of either a UK cheese or traditional cheese, which is a more variant for mainland Europe, with a blueberry. Actually, might make more sense if it was a blueberry cheese. So what? Oh, how do we justify the cheese in the name? Well, maybe we'll call it sunset. I don't know. So I'd have to look up into, and the fact is you got to remember, with all these strains, all these things, it's all lore, everybody. Like, there is no set definitive anything on any of this shit. That's why I'm such a dick when I buy marijuana. Like, if I buy marijuana from one of my people, like, I gotta know that it's right. Like, here's a half pound of apple fritter I picked up. Why do I know it's apple fritter? Well, one, it looks right. Two, I'm gonna set this up on a can of peanut butter. I can sit here and I can go, oh, see, that smells like apple fritter. That smells like apple fritter right there. Some beautiful, crystally frosty fucking truth, you know what I'm saying? But then, for example, you could say, maybe I don't want apple fritter. Maybe I don't want apple fritter, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I want, what's this fucking here, What's this one? What's this one here? This one here. Maybe I want some peanut butter bread, you know? It smells like some peanut butter bread. This bag's some of the more small ones, but beautiful, frosty. It smells nice. But it smells right, though. Peanut butter bread is, yes, in fact, a new strain that normally I do not advocate to too many of these new age strains because I find them too confused and not understanding themselves. But it's like, marijuana's got to be marijuana. You got to know what you have. This pink kush? Yeah, it is. I know it is. I smell that. You know what I'm saying? But then, like, sometimes you want to go some exotic, maybe. And like, oh, here. Well, this is, some Mac Bite Kush. It's also got some little, lemon OG shatter in there. That smells good here, you know what I'm saying? Here's some flapjack. I'm not actually impressed with this shit. But again, there's samples of things you see, And the fact is, I'm going to tell you that a marijuana's genetic can be right but done wrong. And so for me, it's a two-sided thing for me. One, it's got to be the right genetic. And if it's not, it's not. It could be the right genetic, though, and done wrong. So it's got to be executed properly. You know what I'm saying? Byron Hayes, this is going to go back to the reference to Dr. Green's little dispensary of retard shit. Strains, there are trickier strains, yes. But based on where you are on the planet, even if you're doing it indoors, your elevation, your climate, all of these other variables are going to affect the genetic of what you're growing. Okay? So we cannot make these generic statements of anything. And that's why the True Growers Forever Stewed, we keep ourselves vast, open-mindedly watching and observing through critical thinking of what we're doing and what we do. Robert Steele, how much do I get per light? 2 bare minimum. Yeah, Jansen Dennis. Open questions. Ask away, motherfuckers. We got 11 or 10 and a half minutes left in the show. Ask whatever you want. I will do my best to legally answer. So Jansen Dennis, the one that got really cunty on the temp swings was the Alien Rift from Vader and Ocean Grown Genetics. She's a cunty bitch. Very finicky. Sounds good. Peace. Have a great day. I'll probably get to it tomorrow. Probably won't answer emails tonight, but I'll do it tomorrow. I'm assuming you sent it to the main one, which is potsquatch420@gmail.com. People who need to send me an email, do it tonight on that email so I can check that one tomorrow. I don't have to check one of the other few ones. What's up, Scully's House of Thrillers? You're gonna do the CC genetics. The fuck does that mean? What's CC mean? Hell yeah, back at you, Scully House of Thrillers. Probably eventually, because they're probably gonna suck, and then I can make fun of them. Because I don't really respect what they do. Like the whole like branding even of it is just like you're a dick fuck.
Let's back with less shit shittily and then send to sell shit for too much money to people. Yeah.
Marketing standpoint, clever and initial premise, yes, but ethically and morally, no. Go fucking die in a hole. You too, I spot cannabis. Much love. Keep it real. May the trill. May the trim. The trill. I was going to say, may the trill jail be with you. May the trim jail be with you. Jansen Dennis, I couldn't tell you in terms of that. I've never worked with that, but I mean, everyone, we got to remember, like, if there's one last lesson I'm going to impart to you at the end of this show, especially right now, there's 1,001 genetic brands, more than there ever was, and I got mad years ago about this. That's why we're launching genetics. Take everything with a grain of salt, and remember, it's a fucking plant. It's not a weed technically, but like it is like a weed in terms of what we've colloquially come to call something that can be one of the most indestructible, unstoppable plants. If you treat your plants with love and a bit of logic, a little bit of science, and a whole lot of give them kisses, they will do well for you. You know. Certain genetics just aren't going to handle it. Like certain things, like in certain climates, are just going to die out on you, and that's going to happen, you know? But never doubt the magic of what weed is. And I'm not talking about when we smoke it. I'm talking about what it physically is able to do in terms of biology. But at the same time, I'm also going to say to you, remember that there's a lot of shady, shitty seed sources out there. And it's hard to know. Once we get things back up and going, one of the secret side projects I think both Gazzers and I are signed up to do, Gazzer's kind of been doing it, is we order things in from people and companies and we test them quietly. If you're a seed provider out there, because we're going to be a seed company, well, we already are, but we just haven't released anything. But if you are brave in terms of what you've built, if you believe in what you've done, send it to me. You want a real motherfucker to fucking grow it out? Here's what you do. You want me to grow your fucking genetics, and if I like them and if I respect them, then I'll tell the world, and then I'll help your company. Cool. So send me a pack to fuck around with, and send me fucking... Oh, fuck it. Put your balls where your mouth is. Send me 10 packs on top to give away to people for free. We won't give them away until we deem them good, and if they suck, then we'll do a ceremonious video where I burn them. I know, but it's called reality. So, to the other genetic breeders out there, we're bringing truth back. We're bringing honesty back to YouTube. So,
If you got some fucking balls, and this is a one-nut wonder after cancer, telling you that, then send it in, and let's see what happens. Hashtag motherfucking boom. Scully, are you gonna really let them tell you what to do? That's my response to that act, baby. Do I know Greg Taylor? I think I may know a few Greg Taylors. Name sounds familiar, but my brain's bad with names.
Oh, I don't disagree with you, Dankness Genetics. The world needs to get a little more real. Wait a minute. No, I think the world's been pretty fucking real, actually, for the last few years. Let's be fair. That's probably a big part of why my fucking marriage that was to this woman I'm still in love with, even after everything she did, and I'm a soulmate to, failed. Shit got a little too real in terms of the world around us. Maybe we could counterbalance that in what you said. People need to get a little more real. Well, may die alone. Because I can't see myself loving another woman than I already gave myself to. And was supposed to be marriage number 2. But maybe people need to get a little more fucking real. Maybe we need to all stop fighting each other and work together. There's enough dumb cocksuckers that'll never get that on this planet that are willing to fuck us. Maybe we need to start fucking thinking smart and working together. It's just an idea. I don't know. I do know I'm fucking right. Deal with it. I don't think so, Van. But we could talk, maybe not tonight, but soon about that.
Jansen Dennis, I know it's Canada, but easy on gangster things, Potsquatch. What are you talking about, man? I'm gonna fucking run my mouth anytime I goddamn want to. Trust me, if there's anything I can recently attest to is the Canadian legal system is not your friend. It's not a nice place. Trust me. I'm still gonna stand here and tell you what I fucking think. That's the fucking point of being a human. We gotta stand up for what's right. We gotta be more elevated than our initial emotional reactions might be. Think thrice, speak once, but love and have compassion, both for yourself and the world around you, and be wise enough to understand what that means. I know we're in the last couple of minutes and I'm getting all heavy on shit, but hell, it's the first live stream back in a while. And don't worry, baby, there's more coming. And will we discover the truth of what was once there?
Hell yeah, well, Scully's House of Thrills, don't worry, that's all coming back soon, baby. It's the first live stream we've done in a long time. That's right, Jansen, motherfucking Dennis. Everybody, I'm gonna tell you right now here, I'm gonna put it up on top of the thing. I'm gonna stand back so we can shoot it. How far back do I need to stand? Can my glasses see? All right, it's not a great angle. Everybody, I need to tell you this. I'm coming to you from Lab 1. I was once a man that started this. I lost my way a bit. The losing of my way was not due to necessarily my relationship dissolving. I'm not opposed to even finding a way to rebuild a new life with that woman. But I will never go back on paying attention to my community and my people and what I gotta do. And the fact is,
I'm back. It may not be in quite the same way I once was quite yet, but we're gonna get even smarter now, because I've been through some shit. Alright? So guess what? Guess what? Guess what, Potsquatches? Who's ready to have a good fucking time? Oh yeah.
My friends, my family, it has been a wonderful show. And it hasn't been a big show. It's probably been like one of the smallest shows we've ever done in terms of numbers, but that's completely okay. The world forgot about the Potsquatches, except the Potsquatches. But guess what, baby?
We're back. It might take us some time. But the fact is, even when we were smaller, they were afraid. We should be more afraid now. Because guess what? The motherfucking crew is back. The Squatch is back in town, baby. Let's get dirty. Let's get real. And let's have fun.
And remember, the true grower is the forever student. The true grower is not afraid to take risks. The true grower makes educated, stupid decisions. Word to your mother. Peace and love to all of you. We'll see you next time. Keep it real. Keep it squatchy.
I'm back.
Love y'all, motherfuckers. Okay, peace.
See you soon. Okay, bye.